everybody doing tonight? Today. My name is Ray Freeman, and everything we do, I give my glory to God. I fell in love with football when I was 6 years old. My father bought me a Roger Staubach starter football kit. And ever since then, I was going around the house tackling stuff, and my mom said, take that uniform off. Quit tackling stuff. I started at Warrensville Heights, Ohio, a small suburb in Cleveland, Ohio. And I had a good time. I had a great high school career. I had a great coach who's here today, Coach Walker, along with my brother and sister and my sweetheart, Mrs. Felicia Kelly, who's Leroy Kelly's daughter. But one thing about football, it actually is going to tell you who you are. Football is parallel to our quarters in football. That first quarter, the kickoff, the day you were born. That second quarter, you're trying to find your way through the game. And then the halftime. That's the halftime of your life, what you're living. And then the third quarter, you're like, okay, I got kids, I want to love on them, I want to love on this wife. But then that fourth quarter is if you're winning in life, you look back and you say, am I winning? Did I do this thing called life right? And then when that referee blows that whistle and I hand him that football, God gonna say, job well done, Ray, job well done. But to all of my actual Hall of Famers, my one ask is, if you get a chance to go back to your respective cities, go to a high school football game. Go watch the children. And then you'll ask yourself, did I do it right? Did I play the game right? All these gentlemen here with me, we played the game right. We left the game better for future generations. I want to thank this National High School Hall of Fame. I want to thank my great friend, Lamont Robinson, who's probably seen all my games. And God bless you all.
Coach Don Nealon.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here and not being viewed. But, I was born and raised in Canton, and it wasn't called Benson Stadium then, it was Fawcett Stadium. And coached high school football for 6 years, and I loved every bit of it. Started out at Mansfield, Ohio, and then Canton South, and then near Canton McKinley. And I'll tell you a little story. When I was named the football coach at Canton McKinley, I had 4 sisters. They said, Don, are you out of your mind? We're Canton Lincoln. They loved Lincoln High School, not McKinley. And I said, hey, that's where the paycheck is, and I love Canton McKinley. I loved the Bulldogs. I could have stayed there forever. But high school football was so much fun for me. I loved coaching high school football. And when you think about it, without high school football, we're all in trouble, because that's the foundation. And you have so much impact on those young guys. And when I look back over my high school, I love my coaches and I love my teachers. I remember my high school freshman coach at Lincoln High School, George Fulton. And I remember my varsity coach. And I had Bill Doolittle. Some of you don't remember him, but he was my offensive backfield coach at Lincoln High School. And then when I went to college, Dwight Perry was my college coach. I fell in love with him. And the coaches, it is just amazing the impact that they had on my life. So football has been my entire life. And coaches, the goals that they set, that's what I set for my life. And thank goodness for high school football. It's the name of the game. I look down there and I see a guy by the name of Jimmy Tressel. His dad was one of my idols. And I still miss him today, Jim. I miss those daggone poker games. I'd go to a clinic, his dad would call me and he'd say, hey Don, room 303, 9 o'clock, we got a poker game. You gonna be there? I'd say, I'll be there. That's how old I was. But anyhow, thanks a million for this award. Football's the name of the game. I love it. And thanks for this honor. It means tremendous a lot to me. Thank you.
What an honor. I never would dream I'd be in a Hall of Fame anywhere, doing anything, especially the rural town that I grew up in, not really knowing what my future would look like, what kind of career I would have. But I was lucky enough to have some coaches that stayed with me. As mentioned, I was a track guy, and I thought that was going to be the end-all and be-all for Kevin Mack running track. Luckily, I got talked into playing football, which I hated my first year. And I was lucky enough to have teammates back then that talked me into coming back for my senior year. They saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. I would say for the young guys that are here, the high school kids who are here that are involved in football right now, it could be the best time of your life. I have guys that I played high school football with that I still am in contact with to this day. Very close. Anytime I go home, I have to tell them I'm coming home. If not, everybody in the town is after me. So, but yeah, the high school, out of all the accomplishments I've had in football, the high school football, the teams I were on, the things we accomplished, I hold dear to my heart because that's when I really started having fun. So I have a lot of parents that ask me, what do I tell kids when they're attempting to play football, when they're going out? And they look at me crazy when I tell them this, but the biggest thing you can do is go out and have fun. If you're not having fun, you're not playing the game. Thank you for the award, thank you for the recognition, and I'm gonna let somebody else stand in front of this mic.
I had planned to come up here and try to pretend to be cool and be articulate and be funny and be witty. And right now I'm just choking back tears. Okay, that was so amazing to hear that story. And what I kind of wanted to start out talking about. I'm sitting here with up here with this on this great day. This was so many awesome guys, ex-teammates, ex-coaches of mine. And my parents are down here, 82 and 85-year-old mother and 85-year-old father. I love you so much. I know you don't like me talking about the ages. The foundation, it's the 40-year anniversary this year of the national championship at the University of Miami. It's the 30-year anniversary for me of my Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. But I graduated high school in 1982. I was blessed to play 12 years in the NFL. But the foundation that I was taught in high school football, still resides within me so much. And Mom, what you did for me, the foundation that you laid for me, Dad, that foundation, to have me standing up here right now makes me so proud and so awesome. And for that letter that we wrote, and you know I can't lie, as a brainwashed Catholic who does not on Sunday want to go to confession right now, I love making a difference. And I've talked to so many players and younger people about the importance when you meet people of making a difference and genuinely saying hi and signing autographs. And because most of our interactions are 15 to 30 seconds, and we get a chance to meet kids or sign an autograph and look them in the eye and say, hey, you matter, what grade you in, and sign that for them. Or if you get letters like we were talking about, and, taking the time to open the mail, taking the time to sign them. You're busy, we're so busy playing, trying to be good on a football field. And for you young men out there, you have plenty of time to be old. You have plenty of time to go out. But when you're going through this high school and these games, this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You don't want to be old like this and regret that you didn't take advantage of the great opportunities, the great people that are around you now at this time in your life. But I had such great influences with my coaches, my teammates, my mom and dad right here. But in the interest of being super honest, I made sure I signed almost all those autographs. But my mom made sure I did it. And she's here today. And all of those letters that came, the combination of me and you, getting those letters out, and you did that for me, and the influence that we're making on people. So make sure you tell Ronnie, I want most of the credit, but in reality, for me being here today on that small one, it's you, Mom, and you, Dad, and for being in the High School Hall of Fame. I just can't be any more proud of that. And from that standpoint, one of the things they were asking us backstage was, what's important to you today? I was just talking with Kevin Mack and Chris Spillman backstage, and a little boy growing up in Northeast Ohio. I grew up in Youngstown, and so did not even think I was gifted enough to be a pro player. Wanted to go to college and get a degree and stuff, but to be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, I kind of thought that was my life goal. That was my life dream. That's what I was put on this earth to be. Chris Spillman, a middle linebacker at Massillon, then middle linebacker at Ohio State, then a middle linebacker for his boyhood team, the Cleveland Browns. Maybe thought that's what we were meant to be in life. But God's dealt us some interesting things in life. And as I get into the late third quarter, early fourth quarter of my life right now, I think that that was just a part of it. And some of the stuff that's going on in society here today, and some of you have heard this story with me, a lot of the guys up here have. There's a guy with 40 surgeries, 80 broken bones, 100 concussions, 15 seizures. I retired in 1997, and to have gone down the pathway of all the prescriptions and the pain management and that, the injuries, and not understanding how to be healthy. We're having such an issue in society today with the overdose deaths, and it's not affecting, it has no judge as to age groups and demographics and stuff. And for somebody like myself, who was diagnosed 4 years ago with 5 years left of cognitive brain function, to not be able to know what cognitive was, to not be able to stand up in front of you without panicking and mumbling or stumbling, not being able to articulate or enunciate, communicate any multiple syllable words. So to be able, one, I don't say that to brag about it, but one, to show people who are wrestling with this issue that there's options and alternatives to come out the other side. And as we're, again, in the late third quarter, early fourth quarter of our life, I'm really energized today by being here with you guys and seeing the genuine spirit, the genuine love for us as players, and love for our families, our love for our community, and the foundation that high school football and our families taught us in our local communities. High school football on Friday nights, I have a friend that says, everything that's good about our country and society, you can see in a local community on Friday night football. And that's laid the foundation for me. I went to the University of Miami. I use the phrase, you matter. It's not because I'm a hurricane, because deep down we're all brothers together. You matter because we care about each other. We got to take care of each other here. God bless you.
Amongst these great guys up here. And that's the thing about coming to ceremonies like this. Yes, it's nice to get awards, it's nice to be recognized, but for me, it's to get to know these guys, because you competed against guys. Of course, I played with the great Chris Spillman and the great Jerry Ball. We were teammates together. But just to see these guys, just to be in the room with some of the names that have, graced the college fields, high school fields and the pro fields, it's just great to be here. And the other thing, quite honestly, I'm the only offensive lineman that they put in here. So I'm the only big fella that got in this year. So I got bragging rights. So I like that. But I appreciate everything. I think, like say, being part of the inaugural class, for me, that's what's special. When you're part of something that's here, is the very first class, it's always going to resonate and it's always going to be special. So thank you all for coming out. Continue to have a great time. And thank you, National High School National Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Their lives. There's a few of us up here who are in overtime. And I happen to be one of them. Don, you understand. I want to thank the event organizers, Lamont Robinson and Russell Johnson, and the local guys, RJ, Dave, and Antonio for what they've done to host this event. I grew up in a small town just west of here, and I'm grateful that I grew up in Orrville, Ohio. People familiar with this part of Ohio understand where that is. And I benefited a lot through my life, not so much by intention as much by coincidence, but I had the great opportunity to be at the right place at the right time. And my family moving to Orrville, Ohio, me growing up in a town where football mattered. That made an immediate impression on me as a grade school kid and as a middle school kid. When things were going really well in Orrville, Ohio, the rumor has it that there were more people in the stands on Friday night than there were in church on Sunday morning. And Orrville had a lot of churches. But I'm grateful that I grew up in that town. I'm grateful that I had two different head coaches, Bill Shunkwater and Mo Tipton. Those men impacted me, they inspired me, they molded me, and I, as a young man, wanted to be what they already were. Before I became a head football coach, I worked for three different gentlemen. Mo Tipton was one of them, and he's an Ohio High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame member. I worked for Keith Wakefield. He's an Ohio High School Football Coach Association Hall of Fame member. And I worked for Terry Forbes. Terry brought me to Canton McKinley in 1980. We won the state championship in '81, and then he went on into college football. But had he remained in high school football, he'd have been an Ohio High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame member. So I was impacted, by people that mentored me, and like I said, I wanted to be who they already were. I had the good fortune of again being in the right place at the right time, because I worked for great superintendents, great principals, great athletic directors, and they never made kid coaching more difficult than it happened to be. They were always supportive, and they helped take down barriers and remove obstacles and remove hurdles that needed to be removed for us to be who we wanted to be as a football team and as a football program. I had great assistant coaches. I delegated responsibility, and I let them coach. I took care of organization and structure and direction and discipline, and I let them coach players. Stress fundamentals, stress basics, and I didn't try to micromanage them as assistant coaches. Some of them are here tonight, and I appreciate their being in attendance. Lastly, and most importantly, not only at McKinley, but at Warren Harding, I was blessed with great talent. Some of it's on the stage tonight. You just heard Garrett Bush, Antonio Hall, and I've got a third guy, Michael Doss, about to be introduced. When you've heard the other two gentlemen already speak, and they reflect the best about what great high school programs and what high school football can do for people. They're educated, they're articulate, they're great men. But we had a great combination of playmakers and role players, and it had to be that way. These three gentlemen were in the playmaker category, but they couldn't have done what they did if it weren't for the role players who played such a significant role in our attempts to be good. I also learned that if football mattered in Orrville, Ohio, it really mattered at Canton McKinley, especially when we got around to playing Massillon Week 10. There are two core beliefs that I'll just share in ending here. as a football program, we represented the school and we represented the city, and we probably performed in front of more people, you know, than the tennis team did or the baseball team did. We performed and were on stage in front of more people than any other representative of the school system other than the band. And we shared that stage with them. And as I evolved and grew as a coach, I understood that we had a responsibility to represent this school in this community the right way. And so I talked to the kids and convinced them that how we behave is as important as how we play. How we behave is as important as how we play. And they bought into that concept. And so we didn't just win football games. We represented this school and this community the right way, and I'm very, very proud of that. I wanted to do a lot of things as a coach, but I never wanted to be scheme rich and execution poor. And we know people who are like that, and I didn't want to be one of those people. And being scheme rich and execution poor just doesn't have to do with coaching the game of football. I don't want to be scheme rich and execution poor as a dad. Those guys don't want to be scheme rich and execution poor at what they do. And none of these gentlemen did either. But those are core concepts. And that's what I'll leave you with. Lastly, and just because it's last, it doesn't mean that it's the least significant thing I say here today. But when I was thinking about marriage might be for me at some point in my life, and I scouted the landscape, and I recognized a young girl named Chris had potential. And anything that has happened in my life is a large result of how she managed the household. She tolerated my absence. And when I finished that scouting report, I knew that she was the only girl in a family with 3 brothers. Check. She was a cheerleader. Check. And she was drop dead gorgeous then and now. And so me being here today is a large part because of who she was and what she meant to me in my life. And the players that played for me, and again, three of them have already been to this microphone, 2 have, I'm sorry, and Mike will be, but it's on their shoulders. Football coaches are more dependent upon other people for their success than anybody else I know. And so everything, if there's a coach up here, we did what we did, but we couldn't have done it without people like these. And I was blessed, you know, with a lot of great players at the places that I serve. I thank God every day for the blessings of my life. And this is the most recent one. Thank you.
But first off, I just want to say thank you so much. I want to give glory to God, my Lord and Savior. Without Him, I would not be standing here. Secondly, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee, Lamont and Russell, you know, putting this all together, being part of the first inaugural class. It's truly an honor and a blessing, and to have it here in Stark County means a lot to me, for sure. When I think about just my life growing up here in Stark County, you know, being part of this community, Willowfield Little League, you know, on to Hartford Middle School, and then transitioning on to Canton McKinley. I remember sitting down with my late grandfather, Gene Doss Sr., and, you know, one of the most important things that he said to me was that, you know, the name Doss, it means a lot. You know, as a young kid, you don't know what your name means, but then when you actually start to go out in the community and you start to, you know, build a reputation and your family, and he said the Dawson name means a lot. You need to carry that with respect. And you know, I felt that, you know, my career here in Stark County, in high school, on the field, it did a lot. It helped me. My family's in the crowd today. My Uncle Larry, my dad, Gene, my Uncle Steve, my Aunt Denise, I know she's at home. She don't like to come to major events. She just like, do your thing, go do your thing, nephew, it's okay. And I just think about this community. Just really, when I think about high school and my teammates, Kenny Peterson's in the crowd. You know, I got a few best friends. My boy Jack, he didn't play football, but he's still one of my best friends. But my best man, my ace, John Lucius, he's in the crowd. That's my brother. He told me, it's funny because when you think about the experiences as a player and you think about the experiences in the community, I just think back to John. He told me, he said, I didn't realize how good you was until you left me. We grew up from Little League, played together every year on the field. And then I obviously went down to Columbus, and that's, you know, another step. But he finally called me and said, hey, bro, it's like, you better than me. And he said, he gave me that look, he said, you better than me. And I remember that moment, just, you know, just understanding the experiences of life, you know, truly, that you don't think about being on this stage, you never think about being called to the Hall of Fame, you never think about the experience of going to the NFL. Those are dreams and those are lofty goals, and you want that aspiration, but when you're actually in it playing the game, you're not looking at it at the experience like, oh, this play is going to get me to Ohio State, or this play is going to get me to the NFL. You just playing the game. And I think all the athletes on the stage, the coaches, they just enjoyed the game, they enjoyed the experience, they enjoyed helping young men, they enjoyed being with their friends, and it helped transcend you to a different level. And ultimately, you know, to be recognized here, it means a lot. You know, it means a lot to me. You know, and I had to think about this. I really just want to say, you know, to everyone who's touched me along the way, that to be a part of this, it means a lot. It's an honor, and I wouldn't be here by myself. I think back when, you know, coming up, my Uncle Larry used to tell me about Chris Spillman. And Chris Spillman was the first high school player to be on the Wheaties box. And to be in Stark County and the one to carry that legend on, and being here on the stage with him now, you know, it means a lot. It's just phenomenal. Lawrence Brown, we've met through William White. I mean, just the experience of life, it means a lot. I just want to ultimately say that the foundation of high school football for me really just helping bring our city to prominence and helping win a state championship and 2 state championships. Football, all the trophies and stuff are cool, but it's the relationship that you build for a lifetime. I mean, the friends, the coaches, the trainers. I mean, Coach Spider. I mean, my real coach was Lester Sanders. Lester Sanders taught me everything as a freshman. You know, he told me, hey, this is your team at some point. And really just, I want to also thank, you know, Adi and Scott. I used to catch the bus. My uncle worked midnights, so I used to walk down at 8th Street, 2 streets over, before I went to high school and eat breakfast with their family. And it just, you know, started my day off and helped me be sound to understand that, you know, what this means. I met my wife. My wife is here. She's from my high school. So to be able to see her here, she was in the band. She watched all my games. So it's truly a blessing. My babies, I got 3 daughters. I want to say thank you. Jordan, she decided to come. My oldest and my youngest said, Dad, go and do your thing. We don't care. They want to stay home. They said they're not coming. So it's really a blessing. It's really an honor. I know it's a lot of people in the crowd. I see some faces I haven't seen in years. Bobby D, I see you, Bobby D. Long time. Tress, you know our history. But I just want to say thank you so much to the High School Hall of Fame. It means a lot to me. Represent my family, represent the history here in Stark County. And I know I went over 3 minutes, TG. You told me. Hold it to 5, so I'm gonna keep it at 5. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
God is so wonderful, right? God is good. God is good. I want to thank God first. I want to thank my mom, my grandfather, my grandmother, the city of Philadelphia, Mississippi now, not Pennsylvania. Kind of get that twisted. It's a little bit smaller. And the city of Philadelphia, my teammates, the coaches that I went through all from 5th grade all the way to the pros. And all I can say is God is good. God's been so wonderful. You know, we go through our trials and tribulations, but God said it wasn't gonna be easy. But he said, I'll be there with you. And I talk to kids all the time. Those kids back there that's on their team, this is the best time of your life right now. I would give anything to go back to my high school and play again. Because I grew up with guys from the 5th grade all the way up to Cub Scout, kindergarten, Little League. And the one thing we had, one factor that we always said we wanted to do is not let our parents have to pay for us to go to college. That was our main thing. And then after that, if one person makes it, we all make it. So for my late cousin, Charles Tree McAfee, he always said there's nothing too good for me and my friends. So before I say that, I want to say, Mama, I made it. Number 2, I want to say Charles Tree McAfee, Michael Smith, Scotty Wilson, all those guys that grew up in my neighborhood, I'm here, and so you guys are here too with me. So thank you guys.
With these stories out, nobody's going to remember. Archer Griffin was my camp counselor at Steve Luke football camp at Massillon, Washington High School when I was a freshman. Bernie Kosar and Todd Stanish was my host at the University of Miami on my official college visit. My brothers, Lions brothers, Lomas and Jerry, we've been through battles together. I got the honor of giving Coach Ginn an award at the Spielman Classic against, was that Gahanna Lincoln when you guys came down there. Coach McDaniels gave me the best compliment I ever received. In fact, I use this for my kids today. We were getting ready to play McKinley, and he said, he's not the best football player, but not a lot of guys play better. So I tell my kids, you don't have to be the best, but you can play hard and with effort and toughness. And I'll never forget that, and I still use it. So you're coaching, even though you weren't coaching, you were still.
Power outages can happen at any time, without warning, and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilscher Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand, engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they keep you informed regarding status and completion of your projects. They also give you shorter arrival windows and send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle, but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher Clark has all the juice you can handle for your home vehicle charging needs. Hilscher Clark is a certified Q Merit Solutions partner, making them market leaders in electrification and recommended by local dealerships. Visit them online at www.hilscher-clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. Or contact Hilscher Clark today at 330-452-9806. That's 330-452-9806. Remember, it's your home, it's our family. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark Electric Company. The Fraternal Order of Eagles number 190 in Massillon wants you. Stop down to the Massillon ARE at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. And like our over 1,800 members experience daily, your Eagles membership will give you access to great food and drink specials. Having a party, host it in our banquet facility and seat up to 400 people. When you're coming through downtown Massillon, stop by the Eagles and sign up. And for a small fee, you'll have access and be a part of a fraternity that donates over $100,000 a year to local charities. The Fraternal Order of Eagles ARE number number 190 in downtown Massillon. Stop by or call us today at 330-832-7385.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal, storm damage, stump grinding, land clearing, and more. McNeil & Sons Tree Service is fully licensed and insured, so contact us today at 330-606-1126 for all your tree care needs. Or visit us online at mcneiltree.com to schedule your free quote. The professionals at McNeil & Sons can inform you of your tree health and give you a risk assessment to keep your family protected. So call today, 330-606-1126. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, a company you can depend on with family you can trust.
The leader in quality drivetrain components, H&H Truck Parts is a name you can trust. Located in Valley View, Ohio at 5500 South Cloverleaf Parkway, H&H can handle all your heavy-duty truck needs. Come in and exchange your transmission, differential, or power steering gearbox. But that's not all. H&H is equipped to handle all your parts needs. Permco pumps, Muncie PTOs, Neapco U-joints, Spicer yokes, new Eaton clutches, and more. Let the professionals at H&H Truck Parts handle your transmission or differential installation in one of their 6 service bays. Specializing in drivetrain repairs, stop by and have your drive shaft balanced, flywheel resurfaced, or your clutch installed alongside the best transmissions and differentials on the road. You know why they're the best? Because H&H is Ohio's largest purchaser of Eaton Fuller parts. Need a blower or a pump? H&H distributes Paragon and Permco brands. Names you can trust with your livelihood on the road. Call H&H Truck Parts today for the leader in heavy-duty truck parts and service. Call locally at 216-642-4540. Toll free at 800-601-4540 or check them out online at hhtruckparts.com. You came to Stark Media for the best? Well, now you got it. Check out Lindsay's Pizza on 2827 Whipple Avenue Northwest inside of the Hillsdale Shopping Center. The preferred post-game pizza of the Stark Media team is open until 11 p.m. and it has all the essentials for game day. Pizza, chicken, salads, and sandwiches are just a click away at lindsayspizza.com. But you should trust a former Ohio State All-American and just call them right now at 330-477-3800. 477-3800. This is TJ Downing for Lindsay's Pizza, and I approve this message.
Chris McCready's and his team at Finally Hear Hearing Aid Center in Canton offer up over 30 years of experience for their customers who are hearing impaired. Head over to their website at finallyhearohio.com and schedule your free hearing aid test and evaluation today. They're a best of the best award-winning company that prides themselves on customer service. Stop down and see them at 1201 30th Street Northwest or contact them at 492-1212 for an appointment. And thank you for sponsoring Stark Media's finallyhearohio.com Player of the Game.
At C.H. Vallis & Associates, we've been proudly serving the greater Stark County community for over 78 years. Locally owned, we cover your home, auto, business, and life insurance along with your group benefits. Our partnership with auto owners has allowed us to span not only Ohio, but throughout the entire country. Did you know that Auto Owners, an A++ rated company by AM Best and a Fortune 500 company, has ranked C.H. Vallis & Associates a top 10 insurance agency in the state of Ohio? From your basic home and auto needs to insuring some of the largest companies in America, there's a reason people choose C.H. Vallis & Associates and Auto Owners. Our dedication and passion for our clients and their coverage is part of our commitment to excellence. For all your insurance coverage needs, there's only one call to make, and that's C.H. Vallis & Associates, located at 1302 South Main Street in North Canton. Contact us at 330-494-2776 today and see the difference in customer satisfaction.